thanks for joining us today on Smarty Pants Storytime Plus. This story is by Michael Coleman and Tim Warnes. The story is George and Salvia, A Tale of True Love. George was madly in love with Salvia, and Salvia was madly in love with George. The trouble was that neither of them could pluck up enough courage to tell the other how they felt. George thought that Salvia couldn't possibly love him because he was too big and fat. Salvia's slim, Salvia's trim, but I've got a shape that's really grim, he sighed to himself. Oh. As for Salvia, she thought George couldn't possibly love her because she was small and skinny. George is big, George is strong, but I've got a shape that's gone all wrong, she grumbled. So George decided there was only one thing he could do. He would have to change his shape. I'm going to be slim, I'm going to be trim, and then my shape won't be so grim, he said. Salvia had decided to do the same thing too. She was going to change her shape as well. I'm going to be big, I'm going to be strong, and then I'll have a shape that won't be all wrong, she said to herself. So every day, George tried to make himself slimmer. When I'm slim and when I'm trim, and Salvia tried to make herself bigger. When I am big and when I'm strong. George tried to make himself trimmer. I won't have a shape that's really grim. And Salvia tried to make herself stronger. I won't have a shape that's gone all wrong. But nothing really worked. George's shape hardly changed. I'm still not slim. I'm still not trim. I've still got a shape that's really grim, he groaned. Salvia's shape didn't change either. I'm still not big. I'm still not strong. I've still got a shape that's gone all wrong, she moaned. George decided to think of some other way to change his shape. He wound tight-fitting vines around himself, squeezed and squeezed until he could hardly breathe. While Salvia tied pillows and pads in places she could hardly move. It was the evening of the Valentine fancy dress party, and George felt he was ready to meet his love at last. Now look, I look slim, now I look trim, even if I'm not, he said happily. And Salvia looked at herself in the mirror and cried, now I look big, now I look strong, even if I'm not. When Salvia and George arrived at the party, they didn't recognize each other. Are you looking for someone? Asked Salvia. George scowled at Salvia. Yes, I am, he said. Someone wonderful, someone slim, someone trim, not someone with a shape that's really grim. Well, said Salvia grandly, I'm waiting for someone special too. Someone big, someone strong, not someone with a shape that's gone all wrong. The only thing is, said George with a sigh, I can't find Salvia anywhere. And I can't see George anywhere either, said Salvia miserably. Sadly, they both turned to leave. Until suddenly, George realized what Salvia had said. You're looking for George? Not big, fat George? George isn't big and fat, cried Salvia. He's tall and strong. Tall and strong was he. George puffed his chest with pride. Boing! Went the vines all around him. Then you're looking for me, he shouted. I'm tall, I'm strong, this is my shape, and it's not all wrong. Then Salvia remembered what George had said. You're looking for Salvia, not short, skinny Salvia? Salvia's not short and skinny, shouted George. She's slim and trim. Salvia pulled out all the padding and threw it away. Then you're looking for me, she cried happily. I'm slim, I'm trim, this is my shape, and it's not really grim. And so it was that George and Salvia found each other, and they lived happily ever after. I'm big, I'm strong, she'll love me long, said George. I'm slim, I'm trim, just right for him, said Sylvia. George and Sylvia. Thanks for joining us on Smarty Pants Storytime Plus. If you want and enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks. Can't wait to read to you next time.